It's David Libman here. Today I'm going to walk you through the process to create a lender mandate. I'm going to start by explaining a little bit about what a mandate is and how Starport uses those mandates. So right now I've logged in as an administrator of the platform, and I'm looking at a report that we can see on a particular deal. And in this deal, I'm looking at a list of all the different lenders that were invited to view the deal profile. And this is interesting, and we should take a look at this. Number one, I see who the lender name is. I see the company, I see the mandate name, and I see a score. So this is what Starport's going to do. We've developed an algorithm that we call Smart Match AI. And Smart Match AI will take every different deal and run it against every different mandate in the system, keeping in mind that one lender could have multiple different mandates. It's going to give every mandate, every single mandate that we have, a score. So there's hundreds of different mandates, and therefore everything has a score. But we're not going to invite all 100 or 200 or whatever it might be lenders to view a particular deal. We're going to have a cutoff. I think the cutoff is at a score of 70 or above. And then we're only going to invite the top 20 lenders with scores, the highest top 20 scores above that 70, and invite those 20 lenders to the particular deal. That doesn't mean every deal has 20 lenders that are invited. On many cases, there are 20 mandates that receive a score above the 70 hurdle. But it will be the 20 highest above 70 that do get invited. So I wanted you to understand that and how we look at a particular mandate and what we do with it. Hold on for just a second. I'm going to log out and then log in as a lender. All right, we're back. I've now logged in as a lender. And from any place on your screen, you can navigate to the upper right corner and click on your avatar. Select Manage Company. And then select Mandates. So this is your mandate management page. You can see the mandate name, whether this mandate is active or not active. Mandate type is either a long-term mandate or a short-term mandate, and who that mandate is assigned to, and when it was most recently updated. I can view a mandate, I can edit the mandate, and I can copy or delete the mandate. Let's take a look at this particular mandate named MF 2 to 20, which I'm assuming means multifamily 2 to 20. First thing I'll notice is that there's a toggle up here to indicate whether this mandate is active or not active. I can give the mandate a name, and I can assign it to a particular account executive in my company. So in this case, we've selected Mickey Mantle. If you had other users, you could select a different user, and that means that all the deal flow from this mandate would go to that particular account executive in your company. And this is important for you to figure out from an internal perspective. How do you want the deal flow from Starport to be delivered to your company? You could have one account executive receive all that deal flow, and then internally, whenever you receive a deal, you could decide who in your company should look at that deal. Or you could have Starport directly send all the deal flow from this mandate to that particular person. Completely up to you, and again, you can change it at any time. Continuing on the process, we can identify what kind of project, long-term rental or short-term, property types, purpose, and an LTV to that particular purpose. And just as a little bit of an explanation, we've indicated that this particular mandate is for purchase, refinance rate and term, and refinance cash out. But we could very easily, with a few clicks, make it so that this mandate is only for a purchase with a max LTV of 90%. Completely up to you. You can make mandates very general. You can make mandates very broad. There's no limit to the number of mandates that you can create, and there's no cost to any of the mandates. So completely up to you how you want to slice and dice each mandate. Loan details, minimum and max amounts for every type of property type that we indicated above, and in particular for a 5+ multifamily. We realize that for a single family rental, you might have one particular minimum amount, and then for a 5+ multifamily, you might have a different minimum loan amount. Closing period, these are inclusive, meaning if you select 11 to 30 and a particular deal has a 35-day closing period, then this mandate would be scored on the longer period, but it would not go the opposite direction. If you as a lender indicate that you require 31 days minimum in order to be able to close on this particular deal, and a deal came in that required or needed to be closed within 15 days, let's say, you would not be invited to that deal. This mandate would not be scored for that particular deal. You can indicate the different income document types that this mandate is for. Indicate a DSCR ratio. go a little bit looser on the DSCR ratio, because we know that the originators, from our experience, the originators don't have the skills and really they don't have the data to properly calculate out what the DSCR ratio. They don't know the loan amount. I'm sorry, they don't know the mortgage payment amount. They do not know the interest rate, and therefore it's very difficult for them to accurately identify what the DSCR ratio would be on a particular deal. So we suggest you go with a lower threshold, and if it happens to come in at that lower level, then you will just might not be interested in the deal, but that way you'll at least see the deal flow rather than miss the deal flow simply because of an originator lack of knowledge or lack of understanding. Rate type, loan term. So this would be a little bit different on a short-term mandate. Remember, we're on the long-term mandate right now, where we're seeing the loan term in years. On a short-term mandate, the loan term would be in months. I think it's 12, 18, and 24 months. Payment type, P&I or I&O. Prepayment penalty, by clicking the box like we have here, we're indicating that we allow a prepayment penalty. If I wanted to say that we do not allow prepayment penalty, I would simply remove the check. Borrower type, individual or entity. Citizenship, self-employed, similar idea with the checkbox here. If I want to accept self-employed, then I would check the box. If I want to accept or require that the borrower has previous experience, then I would indicate yes. And what do we mean by previous experience? The originator is able to indicate the number of rental properties that they own and the number of fix to flips that they've completed in the past 36 months. So as a lender, you can just indicate whether or not you require any experience or not, and as long as they have a 1 or greater in those two fields, they might get scored with this mandate. Minimum FICOs. We realize that as a lender, you may require a greater minimum FICO, so your minimum FICO might be 680 or 700. We realize that. Just put in 640 or greater, and at least you'll receive the deal flow. And if it's unacceptable, you just won't accept it, but at least it'll be close to the number that you require. Locations. So we suggest that when you first come into the mandate, it will be blank, and rather than have to go state by state by state, if you are lending in multiple states, if not all of them, just select all, and then you can perhaps remove a few that you do not lend in. Make sure to indicate whether you accept a rural location or not, and then hit save. And that's all you need to do to create your mandate. Now there's one more step. Sometimes you'll see that the mandate after you've made changes is not active. So always come back and just take a quick look. Is this mandate active or not? If it's not active, then what you would go in is go back in and edit it, and you might remember that there was a toggle right at the top of the page, right up here, and you could just quickly activate it. And when you do that, make sure you do scroll back down to the bottom and save it. You can't just turn the toggle on, you also have to save. So that's it. Once you are finished with the creation of your mandates, you'll immediately begin being invited to different deals, or at least your mandates will begin being scored. I can't promise what deals you'll be invited to, but your mandates will now be included in the live scoring process for Starport. It's the same process and the same scoring, whether it's a scenario or an auction, so that you don't need to worry about. You just need to determine whether this is a short-term deal or a short-term loan or a long-term loan. Short-term meaning 36 months or less, long-term obviously being greater than that. And that's it. So thank you for watching. Thank you for paying attention. And if you do have any questions about mandates, and I know it can be a little bit confusing, we're here to help you. Just reach out at support@starport.com or reach out to your PLA, and we're here to help you at any time. Thank you.